This is part four of our tour of St. Louis high school hockey. Why is that important? Because it's February. This is the time of year when we talk about playoffs and games that mean something. And today we have a collection, an assembly of gentlemen who are going to tell us about not only how are they going to win the championship game of the Municipal, but maybe some things that we didn't know about them and their teams prior, right?
Yeah. I mean, so for those of you who maybe haven't listened to the last three, we've gotten a group of boys and players from the different teams in the divisions. Started off with the Central, moved over to the Suburban, had St. Charles a couple weeks ago, took a little hiatus to get some coach speak in. And this week we've got a doozy. We've got teams from the Municipal who are playing in the Challenge Cup. We just so happen to have players from the Challenge Cup final teams from the DeSmet Spartans and the Chaminade Red Devils. This is a rematch.
It's a good thing it's a good thing we don't have them in a room together because it might get a little dicey.
Well, I'm surprised their coaches let them do it, but we're hoping to get a little bit of bulletin board material for our selfishly.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the slings and arrows.
Speaking of big games, we got to talk a little bit about a big monster game, especially for guys like you and I.
And if you're a listener, you can't see this, but right behind us right now is a beautiful photo of the USA hockey team celebrating Sunday's win. I was up at 7:00 in the morning. I set 3 alarms to make sure that I did not oversleep, which is my go-to method of making sure that I truly don't miss something that's important.
Absolutely. Well, I got up. Both of my boys got up. It wasn't like Christmas when they were 3 years old. They weren't waking me up, but it was like Christmas for me.
I only have one in the house, and I gave him first period off. What we said is we'll wake him up at the end of the first. And then he was in our bedroom watching with us, and, it was a great morning of coffee and hockey. Quite honestly, I'd love to wake up every morning and start my day that way.
Coffee and hockey, starting in April on Sundays, we can start that in Kirkwood, 7:30s.
Love it.
I just thought, though, from a standpoint of being just a fan of this game and international play and being able to see best on best hockey. We talked about the Four Nations being really kind of a primer to prime the pub. This was probably 2 of the best weeks of hockey that I've ever seen. It took me back to 96 with the World Cup. And we had a similar game where, similar to Mike Richter, Connor Hellebuck stood on his head. And what I love about the game is each player on that team, all of whom, almost every player on that team's first line or second line on their club teams. And yet they sacrificed for the better of the team. They played their roles to perfection. 18 for 18 on the penalty kill in the tournament. Capped off by killing a 5-on-3, and then killing a power play with less than 3 minutes left in regulation, and then just what more can you say about the golden goal?
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of game where guys were on the fourth line, and you're going, "Who's on the fourth line?"
I mean,
it's pretty amazing,
it's crazy.
But everybody had a role, just from my perspective. Everybody had a thing that they contributed. One of the things I loved in overtime is, I think you probably remember the player, I don't offhand, but came out just to take a face-off and then took the face-off and immediately got off the ice. He was a Canadian player.
Bo Horvat.
Yeah, Horvat. Okay, so the game within the game within the game. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of level that we're playing, where we got guys that are just simply going out to take a face-off, get right off the ice. We're going to put somebody in your place. And I just have to imagine that they did it with a smile on their face, and that they knew that was their role, and they were good with it.
Well, and similar to that, we're going to be talking to some players today who play both high-level club, Central States AAA hockey here in St. Louis, and also happen to play on the 2, I would call, highest-level high school hockey programs with DeSmet and Chaminade. And if we talk about being able to transition from your club team to your high school team and taking on different roles, wearing different hats, I think there's going to be a through line there as to why these two teams specifically have been so successful the last couple of years. And without further ado, let's bring on these players here, and we'll go around the horn, introduce each one of them, and then we'll put them under the spotlight, and hopefully get some good chirps and some good content.
Onto the dirt. Yeah. I love it.
All right,
I love it,
boys. Welcome to the show. Thanks for taking some time to join us here on Too Many Men on the Mic. We're gonna go around the horn. I want each of you guys to introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about who you play for, what position. And we'll start off with Drake Durko, just because he's got the biggest smile on his face. Drake?
Hi, I'm Drake Durko. I'm a junior at Chaminade, and I play club hockey for the Chesterfield Falcons 18U Central States team.
Kicking over to a DeSmet boy here with Braden Tillett.
Hi, I'm Braden Tillett. Play for DeSmet. I'm a center in AAA Blues.
What year are you, Braden?
Senior.
That's right, senior. So, Tyler.
Hi, my name is Tyler Williamson. I play on Chaminade and Chesterfield as well, and I'm a center. I'm a senior.
And Mr. Groupie.
I'm Dylan Groupie. I'm a senior at DeSmet. I play winger, and I play with Braden on the U18 AAA Blues.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I kind of feel like you guys should be in the same room together, and it should be 2-on-2. Normally like a 2-on-2 drill, but it's just like 2-on-2 in the basement of like maybe an Iron Claw.
Bear Pit in Durko's basement.
Bear Pit in Durko's basement. There you go. So, guys, it's the end of the season. The best of the best. Here you are getting ready to face each other. And we're not going to get into any kind of confidential things that are going on, any game planning or anything like that. But let's just start off by, is there like opening chirp that you want to put out there and just like let your other two compadres here on the other side just maybe an opening salvo, a shot, just to make sure that they're aware. Who wants to go first? Does DeSmet want to go first or Chaminade? Who wants to shoot the first arrow out there? Nobody.
I mean, I think Durko.
Nobody.
He wants to say something like, to be the man, you got to beat the man. I mean, it's 2 years in a row you guys are facing off against each other, and it just kind of all came together here this show. And
so maybe we can go back to history. So let's talk about the history of these two teams playing each other. So who wants to go first? Let's talk a little bit about the last game and what went well and what didn't. Who wants to go first? Chaminade or DeSmet?
I think we put Tyler Williamson on the spot since he's a senior. And
there you go. Yeah. Tyler, what do you got?
I think it was was it a 2-1 game or 3-1 game empty net? I don't know. I can't remember if they scored the empty net, but I think I would say both teams were light. I remember. I think we had 3 lines that game. Probably 4D. I would say it was a battle. Like I feel like every game we play them. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of had to play with the numbers you had, kind of go from there. So it was close. It was close though.
Well, your first game of the season, you guys played to a 1-1 tie. And I think you guys had full rosters there. Braden Tillett from DeSmet, tell us a little bit about what you remember about that and what you're excited about, facing off against Chaminade, not just for the third time this season, but a chance at, again, for the rematch from last year.
I'm excited. First of all, it's the finals, like biggest game of the year. But I think it'll be like even closer than the previous games. Both teams fully loaded for this, and it'll be a really fun game to watch and play in.
Drake, you're on Chaminade. You play at Chesterfield, Central States. Any guys on DeSmet that you're teammates with on your club team? And has there been any like back and forth, as you guys get closer and closer? Because you're gonna not only have this game, but you guys start getting ready for national.
Yeah. Is there like a dead fish in your skate? Practice or anything recently?
Well, we got a teammate, Joey Papillo, and he's an interesting guy, definitely. But there hasn't been much back and forth recently, but I think just all throughout the year, and we had practice on Sunday, and I was like jokingly not talking to him. But besides that, not really.
Dylan, Joey's one of your teammates at DeSmet. Tell us a little bit about, is he an interesting guy at DeSmet as well?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's one of the most interesting guys I know, but he's a beauty, and I'm honestly surprised he said he hasn't been saying anything on the team because he's a talkative guy.
I think the problem is that we kind of outnumber him. There's like 6 of us and 1 of him, so.
Well, you guys are just sitting here talking about teammates, and so what it makes me think of is we're here to talk about the game, but we're also here to talk about fun and the season. And so when I think about teammates, what I think about, Coach, is who's got good style and who doesn't have good style on the team. So I want to hear. So Drake, tell me who's got the best style in the Chaminade crew headed into this game, and who's the guy that, man, you guys are just going to have to pull him aside before this game and be like, man, you can't go out there with that chrome dome.
No tongues out. No
tongues out. Is there any? Who's got the best style and who doesn't on the Chaminade squad?
I'm gonna give the best style to Charlie Miniman, and I think the worst style. I mean, Tyler actually talking about this one like 30, 45 minutes ago. We both agreed it's definitely Jacob Briggs. No hate to him; he's a great guy, but he doesn't have the best style.
And what is it about his style that doesn't work?
I feel like none of it really works. It's hard to explain. He just doesn't clean up nice.
Tyler, I see a smile on your face there. Like, you want to add to that?
I mean, not really, but I think I agree with all of Drake what he's saying right now.
All right, let's toss it over to the DeSmet crew, guys. Who's got the best style, and you're just happy headed into this important game that they're going to represent, look good, and who's the one that you're pulling aside and being like, man, you got to like up your game going into this critical game. Who are those two for you guys?
For me, I think. You want me to go?
Groupie, you got it.
Yeah, I'd say that the best style is probably like someone like Colin Verde. Sophomore. And then the worst for sure, in my opinion, is Brody Gilbert. I mean, he's similar to what Jake said. He's a great guy.
Yeah, man, come on, let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear some details on that.
Like his sock, like he doesn't even wear tape on his socks, and they just sag all over the place. It's rough.
He's a saggy sock guy.
Saggy socks.
Yeah. I think he forgot his socks last game too. So
He's wearing
all over the place.
mismatch.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going maroon socks with gold tarp. That's bad.
Straight out of mental league.
I mean, that looks good when you're playing on Sunday mornings. Braden and Dylan, you guys have at least one Chaminade player on your club team, or is it more than just one?
We got 2.
Yeah,
Bobby
so how's
Gassoff
that
and
been?
Desmond Allman.
And they're 2 big time players for Chaminade. Any chatter, especially the last couple of nights as you guys have been together and had a couple club games, or has it been kind of quiet?
Yeah, honestly, it's been pretty quiet. Bobby and Desmond are honestly not the biggest talkers, so hasn't been too much.
No, but you got to keep your head up when you're out there with them, right?
Oh, for sure.
Look at Tyler smiling. So, I mean, not to rub it in, but here's your opportunity. I mean, Braden and Dylan, this is an opportunity for 4 for 4 for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. I don't think there's not too many high school hockey players that can go 4 for 4.
Islanders.
They're high school hockey. I mean, that's NHL. I mean, DeSmet's NHL, mid-states. What's the difference, right? But talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to throw that over to Drake and Tyler and get their feelings on how much it would mean to break that streak. But let's get it going here, guys. Talk a little bit about that.
Like I don't know, like the 3-peat last year, that was crazy. Going into DeSmet, wasn't really expecting like to win a state championship, but like 3 is just by far like crazy, and I'm so proud of the team.
Dylan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like coming into this Met, the goal is to try and win at least one while you're there. So to win three in a row was great, and we played some really hard teams in all those runs. But I think this game will probably top all that.
I mean, Drake, Tyler, let's talk about how special this one would be for Chaminade, because this would be the one, right? I mean, talk about what the mood is around the clubhouse there and what it's like in the locker room.
Everyone around the school, everyone's getting really hyped for it. It's giving everyone chills about the game. Just a bunch of support. And yeah, it'd be a dream come true. But yeah, I mean, everyone's looking forward to it. Everyone's pumped about it.
Drake?
Yeah, I agree with Tyler. It'd be really great to finally be able to break the curse there.
I mean, I think there's a Chaminade alumni. Yeah, right there. That's Matt Kachuk. We got the word out to the Kachuk brothers to be pumping your tires for this game on Friday, or what?
We'll have to see.
I don't see any.
Yeah, maybe we'll see an appearance. Maybe a message or something.
Get the OB brigade out there for sure.
So, guys, this is part 4 of a conference tour that we've done at Mid-States, and you guys represent the municipal. So, what the listeners want to hear and what we as hosts truly want to know is who has the worst mascot in municipal. If you could pick one team in municipal where you're like, man, what's that mascot? And that just doesn't go. What is it for you guys? What do you think it is?
Tyler at Chaminade, let's start with you.
Maybe let's think. It's a hard question coming on the spot here. I would say Mustang. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, you don't really, I feel like, hear that around a lot. But yeah, that's my one pick.
Kind of hard for a Mustang to hold a hockey stick.
Yeah.
It is, and most are souped up and have headers or blowers on them. Right?
Absolutely. Look at you trying to pull some Detroit lingo out. Dylan, what about you? What do you think if you're looking at the municipal mascots? And feel free to say Red Devil too. I mean, let's get the juices flowing.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I would, but for me, honestly, it's a Billiken. I've never understood what it is. I mean, it just looks like a baby to me, like a fat baby. So I don't know. It seems pretty dumb.
Shout out to our friends at SLU High.
That's fantastic. I mean, you know what? I'd have to pull up a web search and see what the actual definition of a Billiken is.
There's a person in Kansas City, I think, and this woman made it up as like this
way.
urban legend type history thing. Yeah. It's like supposedly the god of good things to come or something like that.
Oh my gosh,
It's something weird, but
we may get some darts from the SLU alumni.
you probably will.
Yes.
Drake, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. The Billikens is odd, but I think probably the Cadets is the worst. I don't really understand that one either.
That's. I mean, the Cadets is kind of it's military. It's it's a little.
It's not even a military school. It's not.
Solid point.
It's a LaSallian school. So,
Solid point.
Braden, what do you think?
I mean, I've had my mind's been made up for like a few weeks now. I was listening to, I think, the Founders version of this.
Yeah.
And it was just instantly the Billikens. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Hey, he's listening to the show. He's our favorite guest.
All right. On a similar vein, who has the worst uni and who has the best uni in the municipal? So worst uni, best uni. Who wants to go first?
Throw it out there, groupie. You got a big smile on your face. You know what you want to say.
Well, I mean, of course, I'm going to say DeSmet for the best. I mean, yellows this year and then the blues last year. I mean, they're great. And I'd say a lot of people would agree with me. I don't know if the Shambi boys would, but I'd say for sure us are the best. Then for worst, I'm not a huge fan of the Kirkwood's jerseys. Too much red for me. I know it's the colors, but it's way too much.
Drake, how about you?
I think Vianney's got to be the worst. The jerseys, I don't think any of them are stitched. They almost look like some of the jerseys almost look like roller hockey jerseys. I don't like them at all. And then I really like our third jersey, the black one, the stripes.
Very cool.
I love it. I love the roller hockey reference. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, I think I 100% agree with Drake about Vianney. I mean, they kind of just look like practice jerseys you just throw on anytime. And they got to throw a white in there somehow. I don't know. They got to get rid of that gold or something and get a white in there to wear at Afton. And then best, I would say, yeah, definitely our stripes. So I would say it's a spot.
Braden, what do you got?
I mean, this is like kind of along the lines, but CBC, like their uniforms, I don't think they have matching gloves for their uniforms. Like every kid is wearing their club gloves out there, and it just looks stupid.
That's a big. We were just talking about that last night.
Back to sty.
Absolutely. You got to have the sty. Let's talk a little bit about the students. When you go to a high school hockey game, and if you're an uninitiated, you come and you hear these chants from the student sections. And when you go to a DeSmet, a Chaminade, a Salut game, those students, they do their homework. So Tyler, how much when you're on the ice are you hearing the opposing team's student sections? And tell us a little bit about, when you were listening, you almost had to turn away or get off the ice or you're laughing so hard. Talk a little bit about that with the student sections.
In these games, I would say you really zone it out up until kind of if there's I would say a face off in one of the corners, I would say, and then it's right near the student section. Then you're skating there, and then you're kind of in La La Land, just thinking around, looking around, and then you hear them. But one I'll remember is so Robert Thomas was sitting behind our bench at the first the first CBC game, and our student section saw that, and it was during the first intermission. We were kind of huddled up, and our student section just started chanting Robert Thomas. It wasn't a kind of regot Robert Thomas, it was just kind of Robert Thomas, and I bet he chuckled a little when that happened though.
Dylan, what about some student chants that either had you just shaking your head or even got a little mad, but I've heard some ones they get on guys and their sisters, they look at their Instagram. Any student chants or any situations where you were in a game and you and your teammates were just doing everything you could to keep from laughing?
Oh yeah, for sure. My freshman year when we would play Kirkwood at Kirkwood, always a big game. I just remember their student section would always print out a picture of our goalie's girlfriend and just tape it to the boards. And that was always funny. And I was always laughing on the bench. But yeah, outside of that, try and just drown out the noise.
Wow, they had a printout. That's amazing.
You got to be careful what you put out there, man. You got to be careful. Drake, what do you think?
I feel the more personal stuff, it's only a couple kids yelling and you can't really hear that. I when I'm out there, even on the bench, the only thing I can really hear is a full chant from the student section. So there's nothing in particular that I'm really laughing too hard about.
Tilly, what do you think?
I mean, I've seen some printouts of stuff more than just the girlfriends, but I like the full student section chants because when you hear everything, it's really cool.
Yeah. So, what about in-game moment where either you get chirped or one of your teammates gets chirped and you're just I can't help it. That's just way too funny. A chirp that just had you
yeah, great singer.
Great. I mean, Tyler, I know you've been in games where that's had to have been, you're just looking over at your teammate going, man, they got you, or that was awesome.
I mean, sometimes like the C of my jersey could fall off. And like I've never got chirped for this, but like someone could maybe chirp me for that. Because like this, like the C can like someone can like rip it off almost.
Yeah.
So I mean that, or I think I've gotten chirped a couple times when I've worn a mouth guard, especially like onto the center, so like everyone can see it, like, or the center can see it right next to me, like when I look in his eyes when I'm taking the draw. So I think those.
I mean, you gotta keep the chicklets like straight, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
How about you, Dylan? What are some good chirps that you were just like, that's too much?
I mean, honestly, like I don't remember any super crazy ones. Some of the like more crazy ones I couldn't say on here, but a lot of the best ones are just chirps about kids' gear and what teams they play for.
Durko, what do you got?
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like some of the best ones I don't think I should say. And I don't really remember a lot. Like when I'm in the game, I kind of forget some of the personal things. But I just think like any chirp that's personal to a specific player is really good.
So, Braden, if you have to go back to your Afton Central States days to pull some out of some of those characters you played with, we'd love to hear a couple of them. He's shaking his head.
I mean, they just come up with the most crazy stuff ever. I mean, you can't repeat it here, but I mean, some of the more funny ones I've heard recently, it's more of like a situational chirp. So like there was a face-off in front of our bench, and some kid from our bench yelled out to like the near side winger, like, wait. And he like looked over and he's just staring at us, and the puck drops and like he's just lost. And we're all already down there.
I'm gonna have to try that in men's
there
league.
you go.
That sounds like
There
a
you go.
Well, boys, we gotta take a quick break here, pay a few bills. But if everybody can still stick around, we're gonna come back for the second half and talk a little bit more about municipal hockey, get some more funny stories going, and see if we can't like get these guys to maybe engage with each other a little bit as we come into this.
Shoot some darts and arrows.
Maybe
right?
some slings and arrows for sure. So, guys, we'll be right back, and thanks so much, man.
I forgot my computer. Would you mind pulling up the?
Well, that segment of Too Many Men on the Mic was brought to you by 5B Designs. St. Louis hockey families and business leaders, if you need custom gear that stands out and stands for something, it's time to meet 5B Designs. Founded by Shannon Brahini, a proud St. Louis mom and entrepreneur, 5B Designs is a woman-owned small business that brings purpose to custom apparel. Whether you're suiting up your youth or high school hockey team or leveling up your company's branded swag, 5B delivers top-notch quality with a personal touch. If you need a team store, no problem. Corporate polos or event giveaways, they've got you covered. 5B makes it easy with fast turnaround, flexible service, and designs your players or employees will love to wear. Check them out at stores.inksoft.com/5B Designs. That's the word 5, and see what purpose-driven apparel looks like.
All right, Grant, I'm going to roll with the Big Bear segment unless you want to stop it. This segment of Too Many Men on the Mic is brought to you by Big Bear Tournaments, your go-to for unforgettable youth hockey travel experiences. End your season on a high note with Big Bear Tournaments. March 6th through 8th, sign up for Horseshoe Showdown in Lexington, Kentucky, or Luck of the Irish right here in St. Louis. They are still accepting registrations at all age groups, so claim your spot today at bigbeartournaments.com. As always, tell them Too Many Men on the Mic sent you to receive exclusive deals on the entry fee. Plan your next great hockey tournament and trip at bigbeartournaments.com, and don't forget to tell them Too Many Men on the Mic sent you. Of the municipal conference, and not just a tour,
Challenge Cup final.
the Challenge Cup final opponents. We got 2-on-2. They haven't fought each other yet. There's been a couple slings and arrows, but not many.
You can almost say it's too many men. I mean, that was a good one, right? That's a dad joke.
That is a dad joke
Dad coach joke.
right there.
Well, boys, three of you are seniors. Obviously, Drake, you've got a year left, but let's talk about from a high school hockey perspective. Let's talk about some of your best memories. And Chaminade and DeSmet have had some great games, not just against each other, but against other rivals that you've had, and also the camaraderie and the teammates. But Dylan, share with us, probably your best memory over the last 4 years of playing for DeSmet. Obviously, the Challenge Cup, but you get a little bit more than just maybe won the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. I obviously won 3 Challenge Cups, 4 J Cups. My one was going to be.
You keep saying that.
Well, my one was going to be being on the ice in overtime for the game winner our freshman year against SLU. That was sweet, and I'll never forget that. Just the feeling when Mitch Geyser just luckily got a shot in from the point and celebrating with everyone was awesome.
Drake, what about you? You're 3 years at Chaminade so far. What's been the best memory that you've had thus far, knowing that you're going to make some awesome memories here as well?
I thought the Marinus Cup this year was a lot of fun, and that was a really good memory. And then I just thought the CBC games this year, playing in front of everyone was really great and winning those games.
And for the folks at home who may not follow municipal and Catholic school hockey, the Marinus Cup is against which team?
Vianney.
The No Stein Vianney Eagles as
The roller hockey.
The roller hockey.
Yeah, their Marinus Cup jerseys are pretty bad too. They're a bad black and gray.
Tyler, what about you? You've had a long run at Chaminade and have some great moments. Talk a little bit about your memories.
I would say, first one that comes to mind, I would say is I scored the game-winning goal last year against Vianney to go to play DeSmet in the championship. And then another one that I love is I'll never forget this one is the CBC freshman year. I think they were the 1 seed, and I think we upset them to send them home at Queenie. It was just a great feeling.
Braden, what about you?
I'm going to my freshman year as well. The JV hockey team my freshman year, we were just so good, and we'd mess around every game and just dominate. And it was just so fun because hockey was just really fun that year on JV.
I love it. A JV reference. That's fantastic. And I love that they're digging deep and going all the way back to freshman
I know,
year.
right?
This is outstanding.
Absolutely. All right, you guys have gone through a couple of rounds here of the playoffs. Obviously, the intensity goes up. What else is the big thing that kind of changes? Is it a light switch? Is it a slow burn? How do you going from those regular season games in December to February playoffs are on? What's that difference? Try to explain it to folks at home who maybe have never played in any high school hockey or meaningful hockey games in February. Dylan, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, you go from playing a game in December against a team like Lindbergh, someone where you can just go out, mess around, score 7-8 goals, to by the time February comes, have to play Shami, where you're just going all out forecheck all the time. It's a big turnaround.
Talk about the pressure, Tyler. What does that mean, especially when you've got a team of juniors and seniors on Chaminade that the expectations are high. What's that like in the playoffs?
I would say just doing little things, just doing what you're best at, and getting that first shift under your belt, I would say, is a big thing, big factor, and just getting the games, getting settled, and just not making any mistakes is. So that's what it comes down to in playoff hockey.
Braden, what would you say to that as far as how the pressure and that first shift and mistakes? What gets you over that that first shift jitters and gets you going into the game? Is it the first hit? Is it the first shot? What's the difference between playoffs and regular season there?
I mean, the atmosphere, obviously, but as far as my game goes, I don't really change a thing. I rely on my warm up and all that. And then if I do that, then I'm fine for the game.
Drake, you're playing a much bigger role this year for Chaminade as you've gotten into that upperclassman status as a junior. What's it been like for you, going through a regular season and now being in the midst of a pretty intense playoff? What's that been like?
I feel like the main difference between like a playoff and regular season, it's like a playoff game, especially like state championships on your mind. Like the days leading up to it, I'll try and get in bed as early as possible and not just like the night before. And I also think like as a team, our warm-ups are like so much more intense and like everyone's really getting a good stretch in. And we're also arriving to the rink earlier and maybe having like different type of meetings before the game.
Love it. Well, okay, you guys, this is the first time that in our tour of the 4 conferences that we've literally had a head-to-head, and I feel like we would be missing the opportunity if we didn't give you guys an opportunity here live to be able to, chirp each other. So what does Tyler Williamson need to be worried about in a game like this, guys? If you're on the CBC side, what does he need to be thinking about coming into a game like this? Go ahead and throw it out. Is it, don't forget to put on your second skate? Is it make sure you wear the right jersey? Is it keep your head up? What's Tyler need to be worried about headed into this game, guys? What do you think?
Groupie, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I'd say for sure keep your head up. Got a couple guys who pride themselves on that, especially Joey Papillo, who we talked about earlier. It's going to be a big one.
Okay, and what about for Drake? What's he got to be worried about coming into this game? He's got some skills. He's got some style. What's he got to be worried about coming into a game like this?
Philip, what do you think?
Like I just say like forecheck, our forecheck's really good, really hard. So you just gotta get your head up for sure.
Back to what Groupie said, I don't think that me or Tyler are really too worried about Puffs. There's definitely some guys that we are worried about, but Puffs is definitely not one of them.
Oh, I love it.
All right, let's flip it back to the other side.
Let's flip it back to the other side.
There's some heavy hitters on Chaminade. Tyler, if you're giving some advice to Braden or Groupie, what do you got to tell them, man?
I mean, Miniman, he's a skill guy, but I mean, he'll throw a check in there, that you won't know about. I feel like try to get under your skin. He's when it gets intense, he's into it.
Drake?
I think just our physicality all around.
So be ready. Make sure you got all your pads on, right?
Yep, bring in the heat.
Bring in the heat. Love it.
Well, let's talk about some things though, like give them a chance to compliment the other team. I mean, Groupie, when you're playing against Chaminade, what are some you're like, gosh, they do this really well, or I wish we would do that as well as they can do.
Yeah, I mean,
a compliment kind of move.
Well, this could also be a time for a backhanded chirp.
I know exactly, right?
yeah, I'd say most of what they do well, we very well match that. But they got good line chemistry with their guys to say they move the puck well. But yeah, I mean, just their all run game is good.
Tyler, what about the Smet? What are some of the things that you're like, man? You gotta admire that, and it makes you play your game even harder.
I would say, their tenacity in the puck, and maybe not giving them the power play so they can cash in, stand in the box.
I mean, that's gonna be huge. Nobody wants to kill a penalty against either of these teams.
No, you want 5-on-5 the whole game, right?
So, looking back, and you look at the season and all the different teams you've played. Let's go around the horn here and talk about the best power play you've faced. Doesn't have to necessarily be each other, but like the teams that you've played, whether it's CBC, SLU, Vianney, Marquette, Kirkwood. Who's got the best power play out there that you're just like, when somebody takes a penalty against, you're like, man, that's not good. Drake, what do you think?
Definitely to Smet. I think they have an all-around pretty good power play. I don't know if they – do you guys have any power play goals on us this year? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I actually don't remember, but I would definitely say
I believe we do have one, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, the answer to that, Dylan, is like, Durko, are you even on the power play?
I'm not on the power play now. I actually do kill with Tyler though.
There you go.
I mean, if I've got to throw the chirps out there, you know,
Exactly.
they're dialed in. They don't want to give anything away.
They're sitting on the table.
Brayden, what do you think?
I mean, like usually you can kind of lollygag on the PK, but definitely against Chaminade, you can't do that because they move the puck very quick, and like anyone out there can score for them. So we just gotta be ready for that.
Tyler, I mean, no CBC love, no SLU love here. Their power play and PK just not there, or what?
Would you count like? I mean, I guess like my previous years, or
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, throw it out. Let's hear it.
maybe I think like freshman year. I think it was CBC. I think they had like Broadhead at the point and like Percelli, and I don't know other guys, but they're loaded that year. Power play.
Dylan, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean this year it's probably Shami, but in years past, like my freshman sophomore year, it was either SLU or CBC. They both had really good power plays. Never want to go down against them.
So, guys, we're so old that we played gaming consoles from way back in the day.
NHL 94.
NHL 94 on a game system called Sega, but I think there's more recent games now that are being played, right?
Well, I think when we first started playing, you could actually like create a player for the first time, and it was unreal. You know, I think I made myself a 99 just because I could. But and then we were obviously throwing controllers through walls when we would lose. And things like that.
Yeah, wired controllers.
Wired controllers. There was wired controllers. So let's talk. You guys all play Chell?
I mean, I've played.
You know the game
25
exists,
a little
right? So we've been asking everybody like how they would, if they were going to create themselves in Chell, what would be their highest attribute, what type of player they would be, and then let each other kind of like critique that. So Dylan's got a big old grin on his face. He's probably been waiting for this.
Yeah, he's been thinking about this one.
So Dylan, you're playing Chell, you're making Dylan groupie. Talk a little. What's your overall and what are your top two attributes?
I mean, when I played Chell, I always made an enforcer, just run around the game hitting people. Yeah, there was no goals, but a ton of hits.
Drake, what about you?
Well, like when I played Chell, I'd probably say the same thing. Well, I guess I was a little bit of everything. It was fun to be like a sniper and just go out there and score, and then other times it was good to be like an enforcer and just run around and hit guys.
So let's go the opposite way then. Drake, you tell us what Tyler would be. Tyler, tell us what Drake would be, and then Tillett and Groupie. You guys build each other's Chell guy off of what you really are.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear this, and then let's see if we can get some chirps going. So
I think Tyler, I'd give him a solid 85.
Ooh, what's his top attribute?
Probably his leadership. Great captain.
Thought he might say that.
Yeah, right.
What's his worst attribute? Is backward skating?
No. I wouldn't really say anything.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
I mean, he's Sidney Crosby.
very nice.
Sid Crosby there.
He's a back checker too.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Love it.
Tyler, how would you create? What would you do for Durko if you were creating Durko and Chell?
For Durko, I would say I'll give him an 80. Give him 83.
Not an 85.
I would say his top attribute would be probably his speed.
And what does he need to improve on? What's the one area of the game you can work on?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think anything.
Yeah. Not taking the styes chirps.
Yeah, maybe Sellies.
There you go.
Groupie, you're building Tillett. Talk a little bit about what Tillett's coming in at.
Yeah, I'd put him at a solid 87. Pretty
Ooh.
high. Yeah, but definitely best attribute, probably speed. He's
Yeah.
a fast guy. And then what he needs to work on, back checking for sure.
Not true. Not true.
Not true. Well, turnabout's fair play. Tell us about groups. Tell us about Dylan.
You know, I like the 87 for both of us. I'd say he's like a dangler playmaker. You know, makes all the right passes. He'll find you when he needs help. And yeah.
And nothing to work on in his game.
Maybe like burying backdoor passes. You know, that'd be nice.
Has he pulled a McKinnon recently where he missed the wide open net?
Yeah. A lot actually.
That may have happened.
Oh, I love it. Well, guys, this has been fantastic. What a fun time of year. All the best to you guys headed into the championship game. Thanks for taking time to join us on the show tonight, and best of luck in the game. And it sounds like it's going to be a great battle.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing a great game, boys, and rooting for all of you to have a great game, and whoever wins, it's going to be a great season, great memories for all of you guys. So thanks a lot for taking the time, and congratulations on awesome seasons.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys.
You bet. And that's how we do it, right? Put a pin in that baby. We've done the tour. We've done all 4 conferences. That one was fun because, we literally had head-to-heads, and we didn't have that in the other 3.
There's some tension.
So,
sure.
there's some tension. I feel like there's some things that they wanted to say that they didn't say.
We get that too, especially when we're talking about the chirps, and the guys are always just like, well, I'm not going to, pull this out. The reality is most of the chirps are like, you just suck, you suck, you suck.
Oh, I love the what do you need to work on backdoors. That was fan. That was
very specific.
Yeah.
Very, very specific.
And I'll have to, pull up a Vianney jersey and, reacquaint myself.
Well, they've got like 10 of them, I think, from what they were saying. So.
We're going to get Vianney hate mail.
Oh, it's good.
I see it coming.
It's what it's all about. But, I just think that as the season's winding down, we've got 2 huge games. The Challenge Cup final is this Friday. The Wickenheiser Cup final is tomorrow, and that's going to pit Priory versus Rockwood Summit. Again,
Gardner boys.
Two Gartners versus the Starks, and Blake Warren, our buddy from Summit. It's just going to be a great game. It's kind of sad that it's coming to an end.
I know, right.
But we've also got some club. Teams are heading off to nationals, and then we've got this little thing called the NHL starting back up.
Well, and we're going to change our format because we're going to pivot, and we're going to go back to the tour of great youth hockey organizations. Just a little bit of a preview. We've got an Alaska youth hockey organization that's coming into the show when we get into the March timeframe. We've got an Oregon Youth Hockey Association, and that's what we do. We want to hear voices that represent youth hockey from all over the country. So this has been a fun pivot in the month of February to pivot to some local high school hockey and bring some player voices to the table. But we're going to get back into USA Hockey segments and giving voices to all of the states that are out there doing great things in youth hockey. So fun stuff.
Yep. And, on the horizon, talking about USA Hockey, I think there could be some opportunities to have some very, very special guests on in the coming months and the coming weeks. Maybe some folks who can talk about firsthand experiences being over in Italy. But we'll keep our fingers crossed on all of that. But it's as we talk about just hockey in general and USA Hockey, I was listening to a podcast, a former NHL player who was a former American Olympian back in 2010, and he echoed what we heard from day one from Bob Mancini and all of the other great folks at USA Hockey. This win isn't just about the 26 guys who are on the roster. Every player, whether they were a peewee, a midget, a bantam, a junior, every coach, whether it was I'm coaching a learn to play or I'm coaching a AAA 18U national natty bound team, we're all USA Hockey. And it's so exciting as we talk to all these organizations throughout the country. It really, really it makes this moment that's behind us here. If you're just listening to us on the radio, but it's behind us here, this celebration. I want it to go on for a lot longer than just that weekend, and that's why I'm excited to be talking to all these folks.
Yeah, and just a fun fact that I didn't know and I read about after the win is the alumni were involved.
Yep.
So I did not realize that before each of the games, they were calling Chris Chelios.
Yep.
They were calling Brian Leach, by the way, one of the greatest Sega 94 players
He was
out there.
amazing.
He was amazing on Sega 94.
Yeah.
But anyway, they would call them and they were bringing them in. And so it wasn't just the players. It wasn't just people that were supporting the players. It was alumni too. And so what a cool thing.
Well, and also, you know, we focused on the men's game because it's the most recent. It's also the one that's been the longest drought, 46 years. We also have this awesome women's team that won their third Olympic medal in dramatic fashion, just like the American men did. And if we can get some of those folks on potentially as well, you know, we've got a local player, you know, Joy Dunn, who's on that team. We know one of her former coaches, and so just so proud of both just proud of USA Hockey and being able to go 2 for 2. Let's see if we can go get the sled gold and go 3 for 3.
That would be awesome.
You know, onto the challenge, onto the WIC, onto nationals. But thanks everybody for joining us today. Thanks to Dylan Groupie, Braden Tillett of DeSmet, and Tyler Williamson and Drake Durko of Chaminade. Good luck to all players on both teams. Play the music, Grant. He shoots, he scores. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
See you next week.